Ma'am, stopping you because your license plate didn't come back registered. Officer Daniel Hart's words hung in the air, heavy with tension. Little did he know, the driver's response would soon leave him stunned. Don't worry, I'm the district attorney, came the calm yet commanding reply from Nia Coleman, California's first black district attorney. With these simple words, she set in motion a chain of events that would uncover deeply rooted issues within law enforcement. The officer's eyes widened in surprise, his hand instinctively tightening on his notepad. Around them, bystanders watched in a mix of curiosity and unease, sensing the gravity of the moment. The warm California sun beat down on the street, but a chill ran through the onlookers as they witnessed the interaction between law enforcement and one of the state's most powerful legal figures. Earlier that evening, Nia's car had glided through the familiar streets of downtown Los Angeles. Her mind lingered on the day's events, reviewing meetings and courtroom proceedings, when the flash of blue lights in her rearview mirror shattered her peaceful reverie. Two police cruisers appeared behind her, their presence unmistakable. Her heart quickened, a familiar unease settling in her stomach like a lead weight. Ever since she'd been arrested a few weeks ago, her heart quickened, a familiar unease settling in her stomach like a lead weight. Nia pulled over to the curb, her mind racing. What could they possibly want? She was certain she'd done nothing wrong. Years of legal training and life experiences surged to the forefront of her mind, reminding her to stay calm and alert. The crunch of gravel underfoot announced the officer's approach. Watching him through her side mirror, she noted how his hand rested casually on his holster. "License and registration, please," the officer requested in a gruff, almost rehearsed tone. Nia complied, her movements deliberate. As she handed over her documents, she observed every detail: his body language, the tone of his voice, the way his partner lingered near the patrol car. Each detail was filed away in her mind as potentially crucial. The officer's demeanor shifted as he examined her ID. His eyes widened slightly, a flicker of recognition crossing his face. Uncertainty crept into his expression, replacing his earlier bravado. The subtle change spoke volumes to Nia's trained eye. Meh, meh. "I'm the district attorney," she stated calmly, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. The words hung in the air, heavy with implication. The effect was immediate. The officer stumbled over his words, attempting to explain the reason for the stop. His explanation, however, felt hollow, riddled with inconsistencies that Nia's sharp instincts quickly detected. "What was the tag run for?" Nia's tone was measured, but firm. The deceptively simple question sliced through the officer's narrative, revealing cracks. His halting response painted a picture of routine procedure. But to Nia, it felt like something more. Something unjust. As the encounter continued, bystanders couldn't shake the feeling that they were witnessing something significant. Nia's composure and directness stood in stark contrast to the officer's growing discomfort. The power dynamic shifted palpably as the officers realized the weight of her position. Nia's mind raced with thoughts of countless others who faced similar stops without the shield of her title or legal knowledge. The responsibility to address this systemic issue settled heavily on her shoulders, a burden she had carried throughout her career. The next day, the incident had become a national headline. Body cam footage of the stop went viral, sparking passionate debates about racial profiling and law enforcement accountability. The social media exploded with reactions, ranging from outrage to support. Activists amplified the story, using it as a catalyst for discussions on implicit bias and systemic reform. Nia stood at her desk, surrounded by a flood of messages and media requests. She knew her response would shape the narrative and could serve as a powerful tool for change. With measured words, she issued a statement. "This moment is not just about me. It's about the countless individuals who face similar situations daily, often without recourse or representation. We must confront these systemic issues and work toward a future where justice is truly equitable." Her words resonated deeply, igniting conversations in police departments, courtrooms, and homes across the nation. Civil rights organizations rallied behind her, pushing for increased transparency, enhanced training, and civilian oversight of law enforcement practices. Nia's work didn't stop there. Determined to ensure tangible change, she convened a series of town hall meetings, inviting community leaders, law enforcement, and residents to openly discuss their concerns and experiences. The dialogues were raw, emotional, and at times contentious, but they laid the groundwork for trust and mutual understanding. Meanwhile, the media's focus remained unrelenting. News outlets featured interviews with Nia, community members, and legal experts. Documentaries began chronicling her journey, framing her as a trailblazer in the fight for justice. Young women, particularly those of color, looked to her as an inspiration, their letters and messages filling her inbox with words of admiration and hope. The pressure on the police department grew exponentially. Officers underwent mandatory implicit bias training, and a newly established civilian oversight board began reviewing cases of alleged misconduct. Policy changes, including stricter protocols for traffic stops and increased accountability measures, were swiftly implemented. Though progress was incremental, the ripples of change were undeniable. Late one evening, Nia sat in her office, poring over case files. The weight of her responsibilities felt heavier than ever, but the glimmers of progress kept her going. A knock at the door interrupted her thoughts. It was her assistant, holding a letter from a young girl named Maya. In the letter, Maya wrote about how Nia's bravery had inspired her to pursue a career in law. Tears welled up in Nia's eyes as she realized the far-reaching impact of her actions. Months turned into years, and Nia's legacy continued to grow. What began as a routine traffic stop became a defining moment in the fight for justice and equality. Through unwavering determination and a refusal to accept the status quo, Nia Coleman transformed a moment of adversity into a movement that redefined the relationship between law enforcement and the communities they served. Her story became a testament to the power of resilience and the enduring quest for justice. As this story concludes, take a moment to reflect on its message. If you believe in shining light on untold stories and supporting the fight for truth and justice, make sure to hit the subscribe button to Behind Closed Doors. By subscribing, you join us in uncovering the realities that shape our world and championing the voices that demand to be heard. Together, we can continue to make a difference, one story at a time.